thought I'd give a little short tour just to show what you can grow over winter or early spring when there's still a threat of frost, because I know it's kind of surprising to see how much is out here already. So first, over here next to that's actually a deer fencing that we put up. Those are magnolia tendril peas. I direct sowed those maybe a month ago. Those are actually more known for the tendrils than the peas. So that will be mostly greens, which you eat in salads, etc., and they'll kind of taste like peas, but lots of greens and a little bit more crunchy. Right here is rainbow chard. That has been here since, I believe, last summer. So it overwintered great. I don't know if you know what beets look like. We'll see those in just a second, but they're obviously, if you know what beets look like, in the beet family. And they taste very earthy, just like beets. This next row right here, like a half a row, that is new beets. I think I sowed those in the fall, so they're just now coming up. All of this, step back a little bit, is different types of lettuce. I sowed all of those before winter, so I want to say maybe September. During the winter, I did have to put bins, storage tubs over those to kind of protect them, but they are obviously doing great. Now over here are some beets, different types of beets. You can see some have yellow, some are red. Now, the history on beets is people ate beets just for the leaves. Now, whether we get any actual beets out of these, I don't know. They seem really small, but the greens are gorgeous. They're great for juicing or just using as greens in a salad, or even, just cooking them up, sauteing them up real quick. This is calendula. I just planted this. I did grow it in a plug tray in the house, and I put these out because calendula is actually a cool weather flower. So we'll see how it does. Looking a little puny right now. Also, I just wanted to say, all of this is grown from seed. There are a couple things that aren't, but most of this is all grown from seed. These are, I don't remember if these are Oregon peas or the Alaska peas, but they will grow up this little trellis. I direct sowed those maybe also a few weeks ago or a month ago. And I've just had some cotton yarn that I built this trellis for them to climb up, and they will be done by the time what is going to go in that bed for summer is getting going. More peas. I think that these are called Mr. Big Pea. And this here is a leek. They're leeks that I grew, that I put in the ground last summer. And it's just now doing well. So you just never know what kind of thing is going to hold something back. More calendula. I believe that when I had all the peppers in that bed, they just really held those leeks back. Here is where I had Brussels sprouts. I also had some collard greens, and I also had, I think, cauliflower and maybe some broccoli. Now, when we had that heat wave a few weeks ago, all of these bolted and we pulled them out. Now the Brussels sprouts, I got hundreds of Brussels sprouts off of. Anything like that needed to head, that all bolted and never did produce anything other than greens. Now, when they do bolt, for a brassica, you can eat the entire plant. So, like those down there have bolted, but I haven't pulled them yet because I don't have the capacity at the house to get them processed and into either the freezer or can them. Here's more beets. Those beets were planted last summer as well, or late spring. That there on the edge is a little Brussels sprout that was underneath a big plant. And I swear it has doubled in a week because it was being overshadowed by the big Brussels sprout. Now these here are all new brassicas. So brassicas are anything kale, collards, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cauliflower, and something very interesting called kohlrabi. I wish I had one starting to bulb up, but these purple things here, these are called kohlrabi. Maybe if you're interested, maybe I'll post a picture or something. Now, I've planted all of these, including these, which I think are broccoli. They're either broccoli or cabbage. See, they're all twinsies right now. And over there at the edge are white kohlrabi. So hopefully it won't get too hot and these won't bolt. But again, if they do, just use them as greens. Nothing over here right now. I have something volunteer here. It kind of looks like it could be something good, but I think I'll let it grow a little while longer and see what it is. These little tiny things that look like parsley here, those are celery. I don't know that they're going to do anything because they have really not gotten much bigger, and I think I planted those along with all of those in plug trays in the house. And as you can see, they're pretty puny. Over here is all, back up a little, over here is all carrots and onions. So there's 3 different kinds of carrots, all sowed. I want to say I sowed these back September, maybe. So there's purple, yellow, and orange carrots. I have to say I don't really care for the yellow carrots too much, but the purple and orange are fabulous. Couldn't help myself and pulled a few that were big, but they have a little ways to go. On the other side, I'll show you one of the bigger ones. And then I have 3 different kinds of onions. There's Cabernet, which is red, Sierra Blanca, which is white, and then I can't remember what the name of the yellow ones are. I don't know. If I remember, I'll let you know. So those are all doing great. They are planted too close together. You can see some of the red ones over there. They're planted too close together on purpose, so when they get a little bit bigger, I will pull every other one as like a spring onion. This is lavender. It was 3 little small plants that I got from Boonesboro Hardware last year, and as you can see, they have really grown out. See, this touched the ground and went straight into root. So if I let this go, it would probably take over the whole bed, but we're not going to let that happen because we've got things growing in here. This is thyme, which I grew from seed and brought over here. This is parsley, and this is cilantro. It sounds counterintuitive, but cilantro is actually a cool weather herb. So the cilantro overwintered. I planted that from seed in the fall. This is sage, which has gotten huge. I planted that from seed at the house last summer and brought it over here, and then it died back and came right back in the spring. This right here is bee balm. I did get that at Boonesboro Hardware. Those are supposed to be great for, obviously, attracting bees. So one of the things you got to know about bee balm, though, is if you plant it in the ground, it will take over your whole yard. So keep it in a pot. You could even bury the pot if it starts getting too dry. You can bury the pot, but don't let it be in your garden or your yard without supervision. Any kind of mint is the same way. So lemon balm, any of those things that look like mint, keep them in a pot. And then when they flower, you're going to want to get them away so that they don't, drop seeds, and then you've got a whole bunch whether you like it or not. Here on this side, you can see the red onions are even bigger. And let me see if I can find, probably going to go upside down here in a minute. See? Yeah. There is an orange carrot coming up. Okay. Already talked about most of this over here, but this too is beets that I planted last summer. And then these two little ones, I believe, are cabbage that I planted along with the kohlrabi, etc. I think these are Mr. Big Peas. Please excuse the weeds. I put up the trellises before I could take care of the weeds. And then again, this is either snap peas or Alaska early peas. And then I put down straw for a specific reason, but that's more about the summer garden. Spinach, which I also planted directly from seed. I didn't start it in the house. Late. I think it was in fall with a lot of this other stuff. I also, where it's blank over here, I also had rutabagas and turnips. Now they are also brassicas and bolted. So pulled those up using the greens as well as, the root. Another thing to note about spinach is it is related to beets. So that's why spinach tastes so earthy. Obviously gonna have to harvest some of this because it's getting real big. And also I'm gonna be putting something else in the front of this bed in the next couple weeks. And then this last thing is also brassica. It is Ursa red kale. But it seems to be doing better as far as bolting than the other brassicas that I had out here. And that's it. That's the end of the tour.